Hello, comrades. It's Premier River, and our first guy is out in the field getting some work done, which is quite nice. So this is the very first field that got sown, I guess, and then there should be another one right behind it. It's really hard to play this game without knowing where your mouse is, right? So there we go. So this one should really be done too, isn't it? Is there some reason we're not rolling out the second one? Oh, there he is. Just a matter of getting this one out. There we go. So we are now making some more crops, which I thought was a good time to come back. I'll tell you this. Since we left, for those of you guys who are following closely, we have really struggled to pay off any of this. I've been borrowing about the same amount. Now the good news is I think we are exporting some of these things that are being left up here, right? So that's giving us a little bit of extra money, but we also built this conveyor, or are building it. You can see we're not quite done this piece and this piece, but they're out there working. There, we got a crane there now. So, this freed up quite a few of our dumpers from being over here. And then we got another dumper that sits here as well. So we'll free that guy up once this little bit gets done. But that is costing us... Oops, missed. Let's see. Game safe. Alright, so it is costing us a few mechanical components. Nothing crazy, but hey, it's the difference between us paying off some of that loan and not. So we're really on that knife's edge as far as making some money goes. And then, I'd still like to get this cement done and everything, but I also want to keep pushing this way. And I think one of the better ways to keep things going is to sort of just keep things moving as far as supplies go, right? So I think we got all these roads in now, and I got all of these assigned. So they're sowing this. If we step back, this is the last two fields that need to be sown. We're harvesting these two, and there should be another couple that are ready really quickly here. Yeah, we only have 3 tractors, which gets you off to a little bit of a slow start, but in the long run, it works out fine. So yeah, this one's not quite ready yet. And I guess probably because we didn't have the road ready. I don't know. But I'd really like to see some crops coming in here. It's this guy, just because I think that's really going to pick up our exports from over here. As I've been watching, for those of you who've watched the whole series, you'll know that we didn't used to have trucks sitting there all lined up. We were flowing a lot better. So hopefully we'll start getting some crops back into this more steadily. Cut down on the food imports and all that stuff. And in any event, this guy doesn't have that much to do now that he's done that farm. So I was thinking we could do some things that would improve our, supply in general. And a few episodes ago, we started setting this up. Now, I'd like to say this. I got a lot of comments about the update, and I think the update's wonderful. I tested it out a little bit. I'm nervous about it not working with the mods. And there's nothing that I'm going to do that much different at this moment that's earth-shattering. I'm not ready to build a nuclear power plant. I would love to, but it's just not going to happen. We don't need the power, and not going to happen in the next week type thing, right? So hopefully that update will be out of test and into the regular, and we'll have it here. And even with the distribution, yeah, we have, that could be better, but I already have in what we have. And it would be when we go to a new area that I would really like to work on that, right? So when we get a bridge built over to here and we start doing a new section and start really working on maybe distributing this food better, we can start getting into that. But for the next few episodes at the least, there's just nothing in there that's going to be somebody. And people mention, oh well, the distance is that they walk. Well, yeah, but we got all that worked out already, right? It's not like I don't necessarily need these people to walk further, and we don't have any automobiles as far as that goes. So, but yeah, just trust me, I will get to it. I just don't see it as something that it's going to make that much difference to us right now, even though I know you guys are very excited to play with it. So, but in any event, let's get this guy doing some work. And what I would like him to do is work on this. So what this is going to be is more for our exporting, right? So we're going to send the trucks out to go supply clothes, and they're going to come back here when they get done and drop them off in here. And this will just be a place that maybe they can wait. right? Much like this is, except for instead of being this is here because it's close to where they're producing the things that sit in here, and then the same idea here, right? So the trucks, no matter where they go to supply clothes to, they're going to come back to here to get more clothes. And then same thing we'll do over here with the alcohol. Now with the alcohol, I was wondering, should we put a road cargo station or not? Well, let's just get this. When I built this originally, it was not with the idea of smarter export. It was just like a buffer. Now we haven't needed that buffer because we've had enough trucks there. We've been micromanaging it. And I don't know that we need a buffer even now. So, yeah, then we have this for the oil. But again, we don't need it until we at least get more crops. And eventually, I don't know if we're not just going to get rid of this when we have a proper oil industry going. Right? I don't know why we would necessarily keep that running. Unless it was, maybe we could set it up as like a extra. If we ever have extra crops, they would tend to go to there or something and be turned into fuel. But in the meantime, they would be producing our clothing and things like that. All right, so anyway, there we go. So we've got these guys assigned to something over here, and then these guys were working on this, and then the question is, do I move these? I'm thinking of moving all of these out of here when they get done these conveyors that they're working on now, because I don't know how much we need the cement, or do we just go ahead and keep building over here? How is our steel? Our steel is doing quite well. We've never overflowed, but I definitely could get this built now. Yeah, which really wouldn't break my heart. We already have people being dropped off here, and they could those people could almost certainly walk up to here. Yeah. And then it's like I need to build one little conveyor, and it has that part, and one little conveyor over here, and it has that coal, and it has the stone. And the next thing you know, we're producing that, and we build this, and well, you know what I mean? Then we have cement, and one less thing. And cement works out pretty nice, even if you don't go crazy, because there's two spaces in here, unlike the bitumen plant. It's not like we can't cut out and we do use a good amount of concrete if we're going to go build a bridge or something, or cement, I should say, right? / concrete. Yeah, so I think maybe we will get these guys once they get done. Are they pretty much ready for this conveyor? Yeah, I think I'll take my chances. Sometimes you assign another project and then you don't get any workers to the original project. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just, for the sake of, getting this area completed, and I'm not going to be real ready to do anything else with the steel. Well, we're going to build a bridge. I guess that's not true, but we'll build up the steel again. So there we go. Okay, so now at the same time, what do we need in here? Concrete, gravel, cement. Yeah, 256 tons of steel. And I'll hold off on building this. I don't know that we need to build the silo. This does have a storage area in it. There we go. All right, so that keeps them busy. Let's zap back down to here. Now we have a problem with plus 21s. And it's not really a problem. It just means we have more people than we need. And until I got that farm going, the reason, by the way, that we're not exporting that much is because we have like 3 times as many people, right? So like some of the reason that this isn't keeping up like it was is because a lot of like the food, right? We're not producing enough for all the people we have as far as food, and well, we're not. The alcohol is just for export, but does that make sense? Even the clothing, like we're clothing that many more people. I'm sure we're making excess clothing and exporting it, but that's one of the things is that we need to export more just to keep up with the extra people. So if we come in here and look, I've got 200 plus 21s by now, and I didn't want to do too much about that because the more people we have, the more people we have to feed. But now we've got a few fields going, and oh, good, look, we don't have these guys sitting here anymore, so that means they should be dropping off. Oh, you know what we also did? Yeah, so we have 19 tons of crops here, which is good, but we didn't tell them to drop off any here, right? I think they're going to here first. where I was balancing it out between the different vehicles to make sure they got. Yeah, we'll have to take a look. Boy, there's a lot of people came into work there. All right, well, let's just see what happens. We'll let it keep running, and we'll just even see. Let's see if we back up, and I definitely want to see some money coming in, even while we're doing some light construction. So the question I have is, do I bring... I was looking at this, and definitely this would be a great supply by rail. I'm not sure that it makes that much difference to us if we're just supplying by truck. Does that make sense? Like, in other words, do we really want to bring stuff and put them down in here when we could just bring stuff over to here for the construction that we're going to do? And I've already been doing that, right? So, and I actually took a few vehicles off of here. The boards truck is going by the other way, so there's no reason to take him off. But the bricks and the prefab panels, this is full for the moment, so I told them to stop driving all the way down here. Now the steel guy's driving all the way down here empty, which I probably should just stop because he was still filling this one up, right? So maybe on the next trip he would have that. Well, maybe not even. So I probably should just take the steel guy off of there too. I bet you that's... I think I saw him going across the bridge. I bet you money... Yeah, that's him. So I'm just going to have him stop, right? Just so he doesn't drive down there wasting fuel, because he's not going to make it there anyway, because we're going to start building this, which is going to need a little bit of steel. And then once we start our next construction plan here, then we'll go from there. Now, do we build this for the fuel? Yeah, I'm just not in a hurry. Right? Let's see what happens with the crop situation first. And do we need to build another farm would be my bigger question. But I'd like to let this thing get to running, quote, full speed, you know, which it should be very shortly here, actually. But then it also takes like a farm like a year to get into the full swing of things. Like literally, because it's, you know, you just don't know, because like there's a timing to everything, and you got to go through like a couple crop rotations for it to really get to like the steady state that it's going to just keep repeating over and over again. Because like when you first come out, you know, there's just all the fields are ready to sow, so it's sows. So in other words, but we should be in good shape. I see that we've got 28 tons of crops in here. Are we backing up on crops here? Oh, look at that. So we could use some more covered hauls, huh? We could use some more money. Let's see. I'm going to hold off and let that build up a little bit. Let's come here. See, we're still... This is the story of what's been going on, pretty much. Now, if we... Yeah, let's click on this one. You can see we've even gone... I didn't even make it as far. Now, I have maybe a little bit more money than I did before, but not much. Right. In other words, I still have like $7,000 before I took that loan out. 7,266. All right. So and that's what I mean. It's just I was hoping to see a little bit of something move the needle, but I guess it's a little bit too soon, right? Like I want to see these extra crops coming in, moving the needle. And yeah, I don't want to take that guy out of there. I'm really hoping. When do we get the other vehicles that we could purchase? All right, there's at some point, and I think it's fairly soon. We get the better open hauls and covered hauls. Like there's one truck, I forget the number of it, right? KDM, my favorite truck. We can't build that one yet, or buy that one yet. Yeah, should we just go ahead and get 2 more? Yeah, let's just do it. Why be that cheap? All right, so now let's get. Okay, you're coming from over there, right? Yeah, we need to name those things. All right, so I'm going to give you his route, and then you are here. Let's give you. All right, the other route. There we go. So that should help a little bit. We'll get a few more crops in there. And they I don't know if they'll back up or not, but we'll find out. All right, so we're working on these two buildings, right? We need, yeah, this getting this concrete up here is a pain. It's definitely a pain. And then, yeah, so I don't know if we're going to build this right away. Let's keep going on with the thinking. Now, when I built this long, slow bridge, it was really all temporary. And I appreciate you guys' comments on build it up in the air and we'll be good to go, right? So now is the big $1 million question, and it's time to answer it. I think that, if we come over to here, we can go either direction with a road and not have to build another bridge, right? And this is relatively, here, let me put on the wireframe for you guys. This is relatively flat ground, a little bit of a hill there or whatever. But we could work around that. Not much of a hill. So we could get into here or get into here, and we might have to build another bridge over to here. But I feel like just skipping this island altogether might be a very interesting thing to do, right? With the next bridge to come right over to here. Does that make sense? Now, the problem with doing that is that the construction company would be over here, would be kind of useless. And then I wanted to measure something out with you guys that I thought of. Now, if you guys remember, the ones who've been watching from the beginning, and of course we're going to be at a cloudy day. Okay, so this is the far, let's close this. All right, so I'm zoomed out about as far as I can, and I know it's hard to see, but there's Eggenham right there, right? This is about, we could go a little bit further than this with the construction, right? And I know this is sort of bent as far as the distance goes, but this isn't going to be perfectly straight, right? So if we tried to construct all the way over to there, I don't know that we're going to be able to construct here, right? But I would, in the long run, it would be kind of better to do that and to get over to this section. Then again, I guess it's not that big a deal to just go straight across here. Yeah, because that's going to be awful far to try to construct, unless we wanted to put another construction office over here, and I really didn't plan on that. Right? And again, the problem isn't necessarily the construction office. The problem is the city. We need people. Yeah, so say if we came here, there's Reverville right there, right? And I'm looking down here through the clouds. Again, I don't know how much you guys can see, but so there's little doubt in my mind that we could get like a city, even if it's just for now for the construction, for purposes of construction, like you could almost look at it like a construction camp over here. Yeah, I think that might be what we want to do, right? And I think we could even get it a little further this way, and that gets us to the point where we could start building our oil. This would be a little city on this cove here. We can, we could even talk about it becoming bigger and whatnot, because this is a nice, kind of a big area right here. It's in a secluded spot. I guess we can always dredge this out too if we really wanted to, right? Not like we can't lower the ground and let ships come in this way. I'm not sure exactly why this is like this. It's sort of a odd geographic feature. Let's put it that way. Unless it was part of somebody's city plan or something like that, right? So in any event, so I think maybe what we do is just come straight on across here past this rock and try to stay in the air with we'll start building the first bridge, right? So I would say, do we do it with the wireframe? No, we take the wireframe off. Let's come into roads and trestle bridge. Well, an arch bridge is always nice. Little arch bridge, beam bridges are nice. Yeah, so let's see. It's not really telling me how much each one cost, I guess, until I try out a little section, huh? Yeah, let's try a bridge with trolleys. What? I don't know. Truss. Oh, no, okay. This is the one with trolleys. I got you. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do trolleys across this bridge. Maybe at some point in the future. So our town would be right over here. So maybe we take this bridge, and then Now you guys were saying go all the way up, so let's go. Right. Cannot end above water. Okay. That worked out fairly well, right? This is going to be... I think I'm there. Yeah, let's get all the way across here. And let's spin around and see if I can make it sort of straight. I don't know that it needs to be. Geez, Lord, that's going to be expensive, right? Now, the question is... Yeah, I mean, the whole thing turns a little bit, but I would plan on that anyway, right? Now, the question is, do we even go to the ground? Yeah, I think we do go to the ground. Right, let's see. All right, there we are. So let's go all the way back down. Right, and then we'll sort of make that straight. And then I would make, we'll just do a gravel road for now, right? Something like that. And then, yeah, I mean, I think I'd like this to be like right there. Right, it's sort of the middle of that area here. So I feel like if we were going to do things like, because we're probably going to want, maybe some cement production, asphalt production, so we could have that maybe on one side and then where the people live on the other side, away from the pollution. Sound reasonable? I hope so. All right, yeah, let's do this, and then I guess the same kind of bridge. And then we'll go high. Yeah, you know what? Does it cost more? Let's see. Yeah, it definitely costs more to be up in the air. At least more of some things, right? Oops, then I moved. Yeah, it's definitely costing us more. But that's okay. I think it looks better up anyway. Let's go all the way back down. Right. How does that look overall? Okay, let's close this. We can attach this. That's a heck of a project. Look at that $3 million worth of bridge. Which really, I guess, isn't too bad in some ways. We're almost out of money again, though. Right? I mean, as you can see, like, how long do you guys think it's going to take us to build this thing? Like, does it tell us? It doesn't really tell us on here. Yeah, it doesn't tell us. Oh, wait, cost of planned construction. Yeah, 428 tons of steel, 902 concrete. So it's probably not bad to get that concrete done. And we're out of money again that quick. You know what? We're probably building. Are we building something in here like changing? Our money went down awful quick there, didn't it? All right, let's just go take a loan out. Mine is not the question why, right? Yeah, look at that. It's getting worse, a lot worse. This is how I keep track how much I pay off. All right, so I'm not happy. No, I'm laughing, but I'm not happy. It's like nervous laughter. You just hear there. All right. So let's. You know what? Maybe it was this. We really shouldn't be buying that much for this or this. Now, where are you getting your people from? Because I did have some craziness. Now, Eggenham. Yeah, I want to make sure yeah, mechanical components. Go up there and get the mechanical components because it's a little bit cheaper. Okay, so that's fine. I just wanted to make sure they were getting things from a good spot. And then, yeah, I think after we build... Okay, so let's play time again. Yeah, let's figure out what are we spending all our money on real quick here. Right. Meat, cement, last month. Yeah, 24,000 for mechanical components. That's why a few episodes ago I was wondering if we should just build our own mechanical components. It's certainly, when we're making our own steel. Food, 26,000 in food. So we got our farm going. Hopefully that'll cut down on that. Meat, meat's kind of worth it, but it's a lot of work for saving 11,000. We'll get there, but yeah, good amount of fuel, good amount of electronics, chemicals. Yeah, so I mean, not too much in cement, but it will be nice to have our own cement plant, I guess. And we probably didn't use that much concrete, right? All right, so let's. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything in particular except for life. So let's just hope that we can cut down on the fuel and food and then increase the number of clothes that we're making. All right, because I don't think, I mean, I want to be able to do at least as much construction as we have been. And I wasn't struggling that much between the episodes. So it's almost like there's something else going on here. All right, now do you have any? Yeah, you got some. Yeah, I might have to switch one of these trucks around a bit, right? What are you, now you guys are going to, yeah, so you probably are all to go into the same one, right? Let me just switch one of these trucks. And actually, let's get rid of that stop, and then you can come back and go to that stop. All right. So this guy will be switched around to going into here first. Yeah, so it's just not enough time to really get this going, and I'm wondering, are we keeping up or not? We don't have to be getting ahead. I just want to know that I'm not building up, and it's not building up too fast, so. And I don't think what I did, I just put a little bit more towards this as opposed to going into the food. But I wouldn't mind seeing the food back up, right? Because it's only, for the food. And if we're making more than enough, it'll back up and it'll start coming out here. But in any event, yeah. So I see smoke. I mean, that's the big thing, So again, yeah, we'll get some things built, and we'll keep planning on over here, right? But yeah, I kind of like that, and then. We could talk about doing something on this island. I like the fact that it's like nice centrally located island to water. So when we get pushed up here ahead a little bit further, I think then we could do something more with the water. But I think we just need to get more people living up in this area relatively quickly. So I'm looking at the time, and so the episode's kind of over as far as the time goes. I know it'll be one of the few that ends right around that, but let's do a little tiny bit more planning is just, and you guys can give me your comments a little bit sooner if we think about this. When we come off of this bridge, no reason to go too far. We would have a road that would then just start heading over. And for now, we'll just use gravel, right? Heading over to Oil Islands over there. So those two islands both have quite a bit of oil. Right, let's stay off the. I'm gonna stay off the coast a little bit. All right, so that would be. Yeah, what I'm kind of picturing is, do we have like oil processing and refining up here, and then we build whatever kind of trolley tram system, train, whatever personal cars up to here. So that people can go to work like in this area, then the pollution would, like this. So we would put the city part up here, which means that like maybe, straight off of this way. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, behind us. Like we could this is where we maybe put some storages for like just supplies. What am I doing? I should probably click on this would be the best idea. All right, and then if we did have supplies over here, would we want to make sure it was accessible by train? And to me, this would be like a good if we were going to have a train line that came over here, this would definitely be a good place to have it, like where it's like a standard distribution. So this would be the first place that I'm going to want to start setting up the new distribution thing. So by the time we get this built, I might go to the test update just to be able to start working with our new distribution. But in the meantime, I think what maybe we should do is just get in. Yeah, because see, well, that is kind of a long distance. We could see what things cost delivery charge-wise, but yeah, I think for now, maybe, this would be semi-temporary even. All right, oh yeah, you know what? I am going to miss that left control would be nice. Like, don't attach, please. That will be a nice new feature. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Now let's do it this way, but first we're going to put this will be just a little bit of designing. We're going to put a road cargo station, like right where it won't attach right here. Right, and then just right off of that, we can put some buildings. Let's go back over to storages. Yeah, I think a medium storage would be appropriate. Yeah, I think I'd even go like this. Because I think I can squeeze out past there. And then I'd probably do... Yeah, can I do something like that? All right, and for now we wouldn't have... This is just going to be for like construction purposes. So I don't want to mess with this too much as far as building roads, but this road would be able to come out from there, right? Oops, I missed. Right, so we'd have a road come out there. We could have this road come out here. And then these things could be attached. Let's make sure that's true. Yeah, let's okay. So let's see, can we... Best laid plans. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I didn't like that, but there you go. Right, and then this could be attached as well somewhere over here so that we could have just a bit of a distribution by truck once we get over this bridge to start building a town, which would then let us build maybe a fancier rail distribution and everything else. But this would be a good start to just get some supplies run over here by truck. So there you go. So let me know what you think of the plan. And then, of course, we have the possibility of coming over here with the bridge, but I kind of like that. I like that. So hopefully the ships will make it through. All right, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Look, we're making a little bit of headway here, I think, on our... Let's take one last look. How's our crops? Yeah, 209. It's holding steady, right? It's just... This one's getting a little bit ahead of it, which makes sense, right? Because if 3 trucks are here and holding up, these guys have to go a little further. So now the big question is, are we getting any more? Well, we got crops in there anyway each time I look. Yeah, a little few more. Like hopefully that's enough to start producing us some actual food and start getting our economy kick-started again. And then when we get over here, I think our next economic thing is going to be oil. And if you notice, we're not allowed to export oil till 1980, but we're coming up on it, hot and heavy. And I know I've been doing, but I'm just exporting biofuel, right? That's a little bit different kind of fuel. All right, anyway. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.